Welcome to this video. So in this video we will be looking at method overriding uh, through a program. So let us first create that program. So I have created a program with the name b.java. Okay, so let me open b.java. So once I open this, I will simply be first mentioning about the program. This is to demonstrate method overriding. Okay, so now let me create. What were the conditions? The first condition was that I should have a parent class. So my class is class A, and within this class I have a method which is void display. And when I'm considering this display, let me first write down a statement which it needs to print when it is been called. Let's say this is method 1. Okay, so now I'll close this. Yes, so my parent class is ready, and when I'm using this parent class, essentially I have to replicate this method signature, the signature of this particular method, in some other class in which my display method would be overridden. So for this I will write the child class which is inheriting the extents, which is inheriting the parent class. Okay, and here I will be writing the same method signature as it was there in class A. Okay, except that I will try to change the method statement, print statement here, which is this is method 2. And I will also write down the main method, which is public static void main string args. Okay, and here I will be mentioning whatever it needs to be done. Now just look at this particular program. So when I'm considering this program, whenever I want to override any method, suppose I want to override this display method, I will create a same method which is there in the child class, and I will try to override using this method. So whenever class B is extending class A or it is inheriting class A, essentially all the public methods which are, or public properties which are there in class A, gets inherited in class B. That means I can call any of the method using, or anything which is there in class A by using any object of B. So can I do this here as well? So let us first do this. I am creating an object which is B of B is equal to new B. Okay, so if I am calling B dot display, so now which particular method would be called? Let us first see this, and I will compile and see what would be the b.java. So when I'm compiling this, it is giving me no error. So let me run this java b. Okay, so when I'm doing this, I'm running executing this particular program. So when I'm using this particular statement b.display, now display is there in both A and B. Now since class A is already inherited by class B, so this method should have been called, right? But instead of this method is called. So this is exclusively a property of overriding, method overriding, where if I am creating an object of the child class, essentially the method which is there in the child class will be called despite of the parent class methods are inherited by the child class. Okay, so even if this is inherited, it will not be called using the child class object. Of course we can use super key in order to call the child parent class method, but here we do not want to use this. Okay, I am simply showing a very simple example without the use of any such special keys. Now how do I actually call the method which is there in the parent class? So for this, again we have to follow the traditional approach of creating a parent class object. Okay, new a, and here I will simply call the method which is there in parent class. Okay, so I will simply comment this command S. Okay, and now let me execute it. So now you can see that since I'm creating an object of the parent class and I'm calling the method which is there in parent class, I will be able to access the parent class methods, okay, or parent class properties. You have to understand that whenever I am creating an object of the child class in terms of this runtime polymorphism, or in terms of method overriding, we will not be able to access any method which is there in parent class. We can only access the methods which are there in your child class, even though that method is capable of this class is capable of inheriting the properties of the parent class. So given a choice, there are two display statements between which the compiler should get confused in executing it. Okay, the confusion will not arise because the object of the child class will always point to the method which is there in the child class. It will not point to the method which is there in the parent class. So this is how method overriding works. Okay, other points which are related to method overriding is that if I am using any value here, any arguments here, essentially I have to use the same argument in the second method also. And if I am using a particular data type here, let's say string a, I have to use the same data type as well as the same number of arguments in the method which is there in the child class. Okay, so these are some of the points that we have to remember while considering method overriding. We will discuss about some broader aspects related to method overriding in my next video, and they will be extremely beneficial and essential from both your course curriculum as well as interview perspective. So that is all for this video. We will again talk about method overriding in our next video in details. So thank you.